And we're live. What's going on? I don't even know how I feel about this. Like honestly, like it feels like it's been so long since we've been here and been doing this. So I'm just grateful to be here. Grateful to be up in your guys' ear holes again and doing what I do best, talking my ass off. So I'm pretty stoked. We got some cool beers to try tonight and review and talk about and get at it and that kind of thing. Got some cool topics to talk about, what's going on in my life and what's been going on and why I haven't been on, haven't been live for a while. It's kind of crazy. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to crack this first one. We're going to talk about it a little bit, then we'll dive into what's been going on and why you haven't seen my fat face, solo in living color, in quite a few months. It seems almost like, but it's probably only been about a month. So let's get into this first beer. You know what? We're going to start out kind of light. We're going to start out light, but with one of my favorite breweries. So we're going to start with Camp Crush. It is a strawberry rhubarb sour ale. It is 5.5% ABV, and it's from Kincaid Brewing Company. If you guys want to check out this can art, really, really cool can art. So they have an in-house graphic design artist that designs all of their cans and all that stuff. So it's pretty dope. They have just produced some great stuff. And I am very, very grateful to be associated with that group of people and call a lot of them my friends. So let's pour this out and see what it looks like. Ooh, all right. I am getting some nice pinks in here. Like a pink, almost salmon color. It smells good too. So it looks a lot different. I've got a ring light on, so it looks much darker, especially without these lights on over here. But it's fairly light, mostly opaque, and then it's got a 1 finger tall white head on it. Ooh, it smells good too. Nice and punchy. Gotta love punchy, right? Here we go. Damn, I like that. So it took me a long time to get into sour beers. It really, really wasn't my jam for a really long time. And it was mostly because I had only had Kettle Sours. This happens to be a Kettle Sour, but in all honesty, it's crisp. It's not too bitter. It's actually really, really delightful. It's light. Super refreshing, especially on these hot days during the summer. This is another really good one from Kincaid. What's up, Glitter Panda? How's it going? Having a good night over there? This is a good one. This is that's actually really, really good. And it doesn't have too much of like that bitter bite that is associated with these sours a lot of times. A lot of times these sours, especially Kettle Sours, are really bitter, and they tend to be almost overly bitter. But this one's actually nice, light, crispy, and it doesn't weigh on you too much. It doesn't give you that, what do I want to say? You know, like when you drink like grape juice, or something like that, there is like your tongue kind of raises up and it kind of gets that weird feeling, and then the roof of your mouth feels dry and stuff like that. That's kind of associated with like that, a lot of like wines and stuff too. This doesn't have any of that whatsoever. It has a really nice clean mouth feel to it. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Well, enough about this beautiful beer. Let's talk about my beautiful life and what's been going on. So, some of you know, obviously, but if you follow some of my socials and stuff like that. But July 4th, I proposed to my longtime girlfriend, and made her my fiance. I had like a whole elaborate thing that I'd been planning out and had gotten some friends' advice here and there. And so her birthday is actually the 30th of June. And so That ended up being like in the middle of the week. Well, July 4th is right there, obviously, and we were gonna throw like a July 4th bash anyhow, and so I felt like that was like the perfect like masquerade to hide this elaborate plan. I've had this engagement ring sitting out here almost essentially in plain sight in like a FedEx box in the garage for a few months now. I got it right around the same time that our oldest daughter graduated, and I didn't want to take away from I should say her oldest daughter's graduation and make it about us. And so I held off, even though I was like chomping at the bit to give her this ring. And so I thought about doing it a million different ways. We had started talking at a like hometown bar that we go to frequently, and I thought about doing it there. I felt like that would be a really cool place to do it and something different. And I thought about doing it there, and I thought about doing it a couple of different places, and I kind of wanted to do like a destination thing with this beautiful view and where it was just us and stuff. And so I really tried to put a lot of thought into it, and this just kind of manifested itself in a really wonderful way. 4th of July was right there, and then I could have the what do I want to say? The potential to use the 4th of July and her birthday as a way of covering this whole thing. Mr. Dylan Moran hopping in here. What's up, sir, my horny boy? How are you, man? It's been a while since I've done a solo, so I figured I'd just hop on here and rap a little bit. And so we decided I had talked her into doing a 4th of July party to celebrate her birthday too. So we were going to do 4th of July and have some presents for her and that kind of thing, and kind of do a little bit of both. Little did she know the whole time that there was anything afoot, right? I had invited a bunch of friends, a bunch of family, and we had a really good turnout. There was, I don't know, probably 25 people or better hanging out the house, and so the time had kind of come. We had ate already. We were done with that, and I was like, all right, well, it's time for presents. And I gave her one present. I just gave her a bag. That all it was one present. And so I don't know what she expected, but she opens it, and there's a purple. Her favorite color is purple. It was a purple ammo box that I'd found at like Bomb Guards or something like that. If you guys don't have Bomb Guards around your area, it's like a Tractor Supply style store. And I'd bought like this purple ammo box, and I had put a note in it. That's all I did. So it's just the box. She opens it up, and there's a note, and the note told her, to go somewhere else. So there's like a whole deal where she goes to the next spot, and the next spot had like a sweater, like a purple sweater that I'd bought her. And then she goes to another, and it tells her to go somewhere else. So she kind of had to follow the clues. And there was about 6 destinations altogether. My old Honda that's parked behind the house, our red Ford that's parked in the driveway, and her daughter's room and our room, which are side by side, but we're like 2 destinations apart. So she had to go outside, go to a place, and then come back inside. And so I just had her running all over. And so the whole time, her sister's following her around with a camera, oh, what's up, man? How's it going? And so the whole time, her sister's following her around with a camera. There's like a 6-minute video over on my Facebook if you want to go check that out. But she's thinking this whole time it's some kind of a TikTok scam or something, like some dumb TikTok, challenge or something like that. And she's annoyed. She's like, I'm going to hide all your underwear. And I was like, I don't care. You're going to have to wash my jeans twice. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself at that point. And just all kinds of stuff. She's like, you just wait until blah, 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 blah. And so I'm kind of chuckling, and I'm kind of being like, I'm holding back a little bit, and just kind of watching how everything kind of unravels. And so she's just pissing and whining everywhere she's going, just getting more and more all chest puffy and, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But there's like a whole entourage of people following her. There's probably 5 or 6, all of our daughters are following her. And her sister and a couple more people are just following her all around to all these destinations. And so she finally gets a clue that says to follow the bullseye. she knows very well that we have we have two dartboards. The one, this proper 12 that's behind me right now, and our other electronic dartboard is out here. So she knew that. And one of the, like, our favorite things to do together is throw darts. We throw leagues together and everything. And so she comes out, and I had stuck one of my darts and one of her darts in the bullseye. And I think it covered it because she didn't, like, get it. She comes out, she's like, yeah, okay, so what? You know, like, looking around. And then she, like, kind of looks, and then she sees something, like, shiny. And she, like, walks up, and she's not grasping what it is yet. She doesn't totally understand. And then so she pulls the darts out, and it drops into my hand. And then I get down on one knee, and I ask her, and I was like, I've been a pain in your ass, I've been a pain in your ass now for about 4 years. I just want to be a pain in your ass for the rest of your life. And, said a couple other things or whatever, and then dropped down on the knee, and tears, instant tears. And I'm trying to hold back. I'm an emotional guy too, trying to hold back myself. Everybody's kind of cheering and stuff like that. She says yes. In my opinion, it couldn't have gotten off any better. It was really just a moment. And it's really cool that I have the whole thing on film. I probably watched it, I don't know, 200 times or something already. So it's been a pretty cool thing. And it's been like a big shining light in this chaos that we've had in our personal lives over the last few months. Both of us have gotten bigger promotions in our company to where we're taking on a ton. So both of us are working a ton of hours, and just stressed out from work, stressed out because it's new stuff that we're doing every day. And so it's a lot. It's a lot on our plates. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to, it's a lot to work hard and then come home and then have to work hard, keeping up the house and everything. And it's just been stressful. And this was just like the thing that, like, amplified our connection, and new, to something to, like, highlight that we go through all this craziness, but we are able to do it because we're able to do it together. And that's about as mushy or whatever as I'm going to get on that. But it was a pretty amazing thing, and it was a big deal in my opinion. So let's polish this beer off. Let's crank on this other one. How's that sound? How's everybody doing tonight? Anybody drinking on anything? Let me know. Man, that was delicious. That one again is Camp Crush Strawberry Rhubarb Sour Ale from Kincaidor Brewing Company. Kincaidor Brewing Company is out of Broken Bow, Nebraska, but they have tap rooms in Grand Island, Nebraska, with a badass restaurant in Grand Island, Nebraska, downtown Grand Island, Nebraska. And then they have a tap room in Lincoln, and then kind of in downtown rail yard area in Lincoln, Nebraska. And then they have a tap room in Omaha, Nebraska, out at Exarban, which is kind of like a trendy area in Omaha, Nebraska. So very, very cool stuff. And big moves from the people over at Kincaidor too. They're opening up one of the owners is opening up another little restaurant, like themed restaurant. It's going to be like a German, a like historical kind of German bar restaurant kind of thing. So it's going to be like a fairly traditional Oktoberfest style bar and restaurant. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you can go over on any of their socials, Kincaidor or Sideshow Spirits or whatever, and you'll see the links to that. So it's pretty awesome. Can be another great spot. And then also big news from the Sideshow Spirits side of things, which is one of the owners of Kincaidor also owns a distillery, Lincoln's First Distillery, and they did that, and Sideshow Spirits is expanding and opening up their tasting room and doing tours and all kinds of stuff too. So if you're ever in Lincoln, Nebraska, check out Sideshow Spirits and do a private tour, and you can check out their bourbons and their whiskeys that they're doing and all kinds of stuff. They have a jalapeno vodka, all kinds of really, really great spirits. Yeah, and just tell them Horny Gnome sent you. They'll know exactly who I am. So let's get into the next beer. Name three Polaroid compatible cameras. I don't know. I don't know because Polaroid was just a style of camera, and it was a brand of camera at one point, right? So there's like Nokia cameras, there's or there was, and then there's Sony cameras. There's all kinds of crap. I got a fly in here. They will not leave me alone. What beer do we want to get into next? Do we want to go sour in a sour? No, let's take a break from the sour. Let's try something a little different. So this is from the great people over at Shiner, from Shiner, Texas. This is Brewha's Brew IPA Tex-Mex. It's an IPA brewed with Cactus Water. It is a 7% ABV. Let's see. It says a mythical IPA brewed with Cactus Water featuring Amarillo hops. 60 IBU. Let's go. This is one that I really feel like, God, these flies are ridiculous. There's only like one or two, but they're all over my shit. Okay, so Shiner produces some really decent stuff, and they're really expanding, and they're trying to do a lot more craft style beer now. So I'm excited to see what comes out of them for sure, because they've had some bangers that I really, really liked. They did like a campfire trail mix ale that was just out of control. It was so good. It was outstanding. So check out this can art though, right? How cool is that? It's kind of like a comic book style. There we go. Trying to get the light off of it there. Like a comic book style, like, I don't know what you would call that, a female cowboy, kind of, or I guess it could be like Native American. I don't know. It looks cool. Let's take it in for the smell, right? Here we go. Mr. Dotton. Is that what it says? Mike Dotton? That's a pretty good one. Put a little boogie in it. Ooh, okay. So this is good. It smells. So I really like Amarillo hops. Amarillo hops has a really, really nice citrus front end on them. And you're picking a lot of that up. Gosh, that smells really good. Okay, here we go. First taste test. That has a weird little twang to it. So weird. So this has like a, trying to figure out how to describe it to you guys. Almost like a tepid water kind of thing. Like, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of almost like sparkling water has like a certain taste to it, in my opinion. It doesn't just have the carbonation. Like, it has like a weird, I don't want to say metallic, but it has a certain resonance. No, that's not the right word. Resonance. Yeah, there we go. To it. It has like this weird kind of not tap water taste to it. Like almost like a particular bottled taste to it. And that's almost what this has. I would assume it's because it's cactus water or agave water or whatever it said. Cactus water. And I don't know that I've actually ever had cactus water. I don't know that it's what the difference is. I don't know, because like realistically, coconut water or whatever doesn't taste like water. It tastes completely different. I don't know what cactus water normally tastes like, or else I would like try to tell you. But this has a cool like little different kind of taste to it. If you're looking for something that especially if you like Amarillo hops like I do, this is just something a little bit different. It gives it a little bit of a different flavor profile. It does finish smooth and not as crispy as like regular water, in my opinion. Like, it has a little bit more of a softer mouthfeel on the back end, which is actually kind of delightful. It's actually nice. Gosh, it's a weird mouthfeel though. Almost like, you know the difference between drinking like a fresh pop and a flat pop? There's like a different back end mouthfeel to a flat pop than and that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like it's like it almost feels muffled, like like I was trying to say earlier. It's like soft. It kind of gives it a weird kind of staticky, not concise back into it that makes you wonder whether you want more or you're like, it's like you only get like part of the drink. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, and I'm not going to continue to because at this point I sound like an idiot. But I think it's really good. It's just different. It's really, really different. Let's see. Did you know that Karl Marx had a sister who invented the starting pistol? Her name was Anya. Anya Marx. Ba-da-ba. Nice. Great job. Oh, man. Okay. I can't stop drinking it, though. So that does mean that it's good. It is not bitter. So, like, early IPA drinkers that don't like that bitter, piney IPA, West Coast style IPA taste, this isn't like a beginner. This is like a middle ground IPA. This is what I would consider, in my opinion, a pretty standard American IPA. It's not necessarily a New England style. It's not a hazy. It's not that soft. It's not that way, and it is not. It is not a West Coast where it's nice and piney and dank. It does have a little bit of dank to it. It has a little bit of that grapefruit to it too, but it's not crazy. Hey, buddy, why did Will slap Chris with an open hand? I don't know. I'd have punched him in the mouth. But again, I think it was kind of staged. Rapid Dave, hopping in this beast. What's up? How's it going, sir? Paper beats rock every time. Damn. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like that. That was a good one. All right. Dave, just hopping in here. I'm drinking this Brewhot. You guys reviewed this. If you guys don't check out Strikeout Beer, you absolutely have to go and check out my boys over at Strikeout Beer. They're part of the PartyCast network as well. Strikeout Beer does beer reviews. They talk about sports. They're kind of all over the place as well. And they're two of the best guys on the planet, and they are absolutely hilarious. Especially when Alan gets a little bit of the drink in him. He kind of loses some of his crispness, and when you can kind of feel the wheels falling off, and you know the show is going to get real good once the wheels start falling off. I'm drinking that Shiner Brewha IPA, that Tex-Mex IPA from Shiner. I think it's really good. You guys reviewed it too. I think you guys liked it too, didn't you? This one I think it was pretty good. It gives like a weird back end taste to it, but I actually really like it. I enjoyed it. Something different out of like a fairly standard American IPA. But yeah, so we're just talking. Yeah, I thought it was a good one. There you go. Yeah, he says, oh yeah, that's a damn good one. I thought it was good. I'd definitely drink a 6-pack of this. This is delightful. So let's see. What have we talked about so far? We talked about the engagement. That was pretty crazy. My new jobs, or new position, I should say, is been absolutely nuts. Oh, Horny Gnome Bar got an upgrade. I got a Wi-Fi enabled OK Google like air conditioner. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could get like Wi-Fi air conditioners. But a company had to pay to replace mine. Because I had to pull mine out and use it somewhere. And so they replaced it with like an $800 LG air conditioner. And so it is crispy in this beast right now. It's like, it's probably 90 something today. And it has been a solid 68 degrees. Like I could cut some glass with my nips right now. It is crispy in this beast for sure. So now I got, the super air conditioner, and it's quiet. Like you guys can't hear it at all, I'm sure, on my mic at all. It is quiet, super quiet. And then I've got my heat for the winter. Man, I am so set. Year-round Horny Gnome bar in business out here. It used to get too hot out here. Even I used to have like a smaller window air that I would try to rock out here, and it just couldn't keep up. There's a lot of surface area in the bar out here, and it couldn't keep up. And it gets hot here. It gets, everybody wants to talk about Texas heat and stuff like that. It still gets hot here. We some of these hot summer days, we'll hit 110, 115 sometimes out here, and then the humidity is just as bad as it is down south from what everybody says that knows the difference. You know what I mean? And so the humidity is killer out here too, especially during irrigation and stuff. When corn's coming in and they're trying to irrigate all the crops and that kind of thing, it gets just ridiculous humidity. But it's been hot. It's been hot a lot lately, and the day that we put this in, it had to have been 90-something degrees, 96, 97 degrees, something like that. And so I had a hole in the wall for a little bit because we had to cut a bigger hole for this air conditioner. And it got hot. I think my thermometer that's in here, or whatever you want to call it, got up to about 102 in here because it just gets hotter in here, sun beating down on the roof and whatnot. And it's really, really well insulated, so it just cooks in here when it does. And I threw this new air conditioner in, and within like an hour, I was gone. I was off doing something, softball games or something like that, I think we had. And she sends me a picture, and it's like 70 degrees on the thermometer that I have. I have one of those like big dial thermometers out here. And I was like, hell yeah. And so it's been awesome. Even with like on 75 with Energy Saver, it is crispy in here. So I've been nothing but that's right. I don't drink water. I don't drink water, period. And I know that's probably my downfall. I really, really don't drink water. And I know that as much as beer really is water, it still just dehydrates the hell out of you. So I try to drink water. I'm just terrible about it. I'm like dog shit about taking care of myself and that kind of thing. So the chemist is in here from TikTok. What is up, my friend? How are you? It's been a minute since we've talked. Even on the Discord. The Discord's been real quiet. I haven't been on there a whole lot. I need to get our Discord going up. Maybe I should open it up to everybody. Kind of send it out on my groups and see if we can get some more beer lovers in there and start talking some more, get some more conversations going. TJ is in the house from Just Be a Dad podcast. They are on a little bit of a hiatus right now, but they're going to have great content coming up. We got football starting back up, so we're all going to be bitching about football again here pretty soon. It's going to be great. Gonna be great. So I'm going to finish off this Tex-Mex Shiner IPA real quick, and then we'll get into the next one. I gotta stop sending feet pics on the Discord. Hey, listen. There's a way to get views, and there's a way to not get views. Feet pics is where it's at. People pay for them. If that chick can send farts in a jar out to people and make the kind of money that she's making, we got to figure out a way, right? I mean, come on, fellas. Get on this train with me, right? There's these girls out here with these OnlyFans and, ripping farts into jars and sending them out to dudes, and people, just sickos, just playing just ungodly. And don't get me wrong, we're the sickos, necessarily me, but like in general, it's the male species that's out forking over this money for bath water and dirty underwear and all, like who, what are you doing with that? This is what I really want to know, right? Let's get into it, right? So there's these guys that are paying for this, right? They're paying for bath water, they're paying for farts in jars, they're paying for, whatever. Socks. I know I've seen girls that have OnlyFans on like TikTok and stuff that sell socks. Like out mowing, getting nasty, stinky, and then you like throw them in baggies and mail them out. Gross. Just gross. Number one. And I know there's a fetish for everybody. Jiminy Christmas. Do I know that there's a fetish for out there for anybody? But what the fuck is going on? Like what is going through some of these people's minds? And then what are you doing with this stuff, right? Like, okay, number one, if you're forking out that kind of money for that kind of thing, I'm going to assume a couple things, you know? And I was taught not to assume, but I'm going to assume a couple things. Number one, I'm going to assume you're single. That's the first thing, you know? Number one, if you're subscribing to OnlyFans and stuff like that, like chicks at OnlyFans out there, if you're married and doing this, she better be on board, because she finds out, you're done. Done. D-U-N, done. But anyhow, so, and let alone paying for farts and jars and all the, and all the other crazy things that dudes are out here paying for. But what are you doing with this? Like, you make like a shrine at the house or whatever? Like, you got like a sock and a fart in a jar and, a used Q-tip or whatever. Like, you just got like a little shrine with like a picture. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this stuff? Is there just one dude buying it all? Like, one dude just like buying, with like, he gets his paycheck and buys a fart in a jar and just like rips, and then like that's his like thing for the week. Like, what are you people doing with this shit? Like, they're not collector's items. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna be able to resell them. I don't know. I think this shit's bananas. I think that as 90% of it is males, and probably a higher percentage of that if I really want to be honest. And God, I just don't know what you guys are doing with your lives. Like, I'm gonna be frank, okay? You could be frank too if you want to be frank, or Bill, or whatever you want to be. But for right now, I'm gonna be frank. And these guys, all I can do is picture some dude that wears the same pair of sweatpants for like 2 weeks straight in his mom's basement or grandma's basement, watching reruns of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, eating the Hot Pockets, wearing like moon boot style snow boots when he goes outside to take his cat for a walk or whatever. That's the type of dudes that I like envision selling and buying this bullshit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. TJ saying, I don't know, man. There's some gross women out there too. I agree with that too. I have a hard time believing that it's not 90%. I really, really, really have a hard time believing that it is not 90% all men that are buying this. I'd like to see some receipts. Send me a credit card statement. I bet it's got to be 90%, at least 90%. What's wrong with the moon boots and hot pockets? Nothing, bro. 1995 though. That's just been out of date for a minute. And you ain't picking up tail with moon boots and hot pockets. I just don't think it's happening. I mean, like maybe prison tail, like the sex you want, you ain't getting. So the sex you get, you don't want. That kind of tail, maybe. Oh man, yikes. All right, let's get into this next beer real quick. I got a banger for the end. I'm going to do 4 beers tonight. I'm at 35 minutes. I'm cranking along pretty good. I am going to do a banger for the last beer. Something I've kind of been waiting to do on the podcast and review. But this next one is another sour. So this next one is another one of my favorite breweries. It comes out of the mecca of craft beer, in my opinion, Fort Collins, Colorado. Fort Collins, Colorado is the home of 2 of arguably my favorite breweries, craft beer breweries, and that is New Belgium and Odell Brewing Company. This particular sour is from Odell Brewing Company, and this is Sippin Tropical Sour So the original of this, ooh, look at that pour. That was a good, nice, heavy pour. It's like a 2.5, 3 finger tall white head on that. I didn't intend for that, but that's what it is. It is a lighter straw color. Of course, the ring light doesn't help anything unless I like bring it real close. But I think it looks good. Let's talk beer and corn. Yeah, I mean, so much corn. Are you talking about corn and like around me? Or are you talking about corn and beer? Where do we want to go with this, TJ? I'll talk about either. I don't know a whole lot. Like, I'm not a farmer. I definitely live in Nebraska, and there's a lot of corn around me, but I'm not a farmer. But this, however, is Sippin Tropical Sour. It's got a nice little sloth on it. There we go. Nice little sloth and like a pineapple, a couple of pineapples and a couple of peaches maybe. I don't know what the fuck that is. Tangerines, oranges, I don't know. So there was the original iteration of this was Sippin Pretty Sour. Sippin Pretty Sour was floral. It was like a rosé and it had some other stuff in it. It was actually really delightful too. But this one is an ale with natural flavors. It's a 4.5% sour with, I would assume, pineapples on it. Pineapples is what I was trying to say. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go into all the different types of corn. Okay, I got you. Let me do a. You haven't like, okay, so you got to really watch so the way I got into sours and started enjoying them a little bit more was you got to get into fruited sours. Fruited sours is really where it's at for you to start getting into the sour game. Fruited sours, you can like, especially Drecker. Like Drecker does a lot of smoothie sours and stuff like that. That's how you start getting your taste buds like acquired to that little bit of a sour bite, you know. And then you eventually will move into kettle sours. Let's do a little smell test on this one. We'll talk about it, and then I'll do a taste test, and then we're gonna talk about corn because you know what? TJ brought it up. We're gonna rip into some corn. All right, here we go. Ooh, this one's a kettle sour. Ooh, I can tell already. It tastes like, just in the nose, it tastes, smells, I should say, whatever. Bitter. Bitter like an X. Bitter. Yeah, this one's gonna be bitter. I can tell you right now. Ooh, okay. There it is. Okay. Definitely kettle sour. It has an interesting taste, and God, I really wanted to love this one. It's okay. If I was gonna do like an out of 10 on it, it's probably a 6. A 5 is like a pour out for me, by the way. Like a 4 to a 5 is a pour out. 5 is keeping it in the can, and I'm gonna finish it like a man. Anything less than a 5 is a pour out. And there's different degrees of pour outs. There's a pour out after you drink about half of it. That's probably about a 4. This is just my scale. Okay, don't come at me about my scale. A 3 is you try it and you hate that first drink. You come back at it 1 or 2 times, and you can't do more than like 3 drinks. That's a 3. 3 drinks is a 3 for me. 2 is that you take a drink and it's terrible. You go to try to take another drink and you can't do it. That's a 2. A 1 is a pour out after first drink. So just keep in mind, like the number of drinks kind of comes down to what the number is, right? So a 5 is pretty close to a pour out, but you're going to finish it. This one is a 6. I'll drink it. And it's not bad. It's not terrible. But when I start really liking stuff, we're getting into 7, 7.5, 8s is when I start really liking stuff. Anything above a 9 has to be a banger. Has to just be a knockout. Has to be a gold staple, right? And I'm never given anything a 10, I don't think. I'm almost positive I haven't given anything a 10. There's been some 9.5s. There has been some 9.5s, but I don't think I've ever had a 10, like a true 10. Anyhow, so this is bitter, and the only reason I made that face, he did. TJ said, "Give it a 3." You made a face. I made a face because it's bitter. It's not sour like sour, but it's bitter. It has some bitter back into it. It was a little bit surprising. I was at first when you're drinking it, it doesn't taste like you're gonna have that. It really doesn't taste like you're gonna have that bitter punch at the back end, and it does. Comes out and gets you in the dinghy right at the end. Right at the end. Soundboard IPA is my favorite so far. Absolutely, TJ. Honestly, Soundboard is delightful. That whole Deadhead series from, God, what brewery was that? I mean, I could dig around for a can here. I don't remember what the brewery is off the top of my head, but that Deadhead series, all of that Deadhead series is great. Like, they don't have a bad beer in that whole Deadhead series. It's really good. But this is good. Mouthfeel right in the beginning is right in there. It tastes good. It has a good taste to it. It does taste a little seltzery. It needs more of a flavor punch, in my opinion. It is a little light on the flavor, but then it comes in hard with that sour. So if you were a sour guy, if you were especially a Kettle Sour guy, this is right up your alley. This is great. But and on a scale of bitter, it's probably about a 7.5. And it's in the nose too. It gives you that, like, it has that bitter twang to it. It's not, oh yeah, there we go. Distill, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. The Distill Brewery makes that Deadhead series, and it's awesome. What do we got here? Ruffian 20 says, "Yo, I need my Mortal Kombat beer." What? Mortal Kombat beer? What are we talking about here? I mean, I'm down. I would be excited. I think you could do a whole series of beers based on Mortal Kombat, like a Sub-Zero beer, Scorpion beer. Hell yeah. And why people aren't doing that? I'm sure it has to do with licensing, right? But come on, how hard is it to get licensing on some of that stuff? I'm sure it can't be ridiculous. Oh, TJ, you're letting it out, buddy. Parentera did make a beer. They also licensed some of their names. That might be the last beer of the night. Shh. But yeah, it's dark. What? I'm the original voice of Mortal Kombat. Get out of town. Get out of town. You're not. I mean, if you are, that's like super dope. Like, are you like the get over here guy or like the finish him guy or what? Like, let me know. Because we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna have a talk if that's legit who you are. Let me finish this sour, and then we're gonna talk about something else. We're gonna talk about this next beer because I'm excited for this next beer, especially since TJ's shitting on my surprise here. What else is going on? Softball season is done. Oh, I couldn't have said that louder. My daughters. I love my daughters to death. You yelled Mortal Kombat. I want some proof. I want some proof. OJ made a beer, but it was like a Bloody Mary. What? No, he did not. Like OJ Simpson? Are you trying to make a joke right now? Because that would be super funny. I think it would be funnier if you did, right? Check my IMBD, Kyle Wyatt. What? Dude, that's okay. TJ, I'm gonna cut you off just for a second on this. If legit that is you, I'm gonna go back in these comments. I'm gonna find you, and if that is you, that's fucking super dope, dude. I grew up on Mortal Kombat. That's really cool, and that would be really cool. Like legit, if that's you, I want you on the podcast. I'll extend you. I'll try to DM you, and and if I check you out and everything like checks out good, like I'll have you on the podcast. That'd be really, really cool. I'd appreciate that. That's really cool. Man, hey, that's super awesome. Just pop. Okay, so sorry if you guys can't see this. I'm also talking to TikTok too, and this Rufflin. I have a hard time seeing this part, but 20 says I just pop into random lives and pump it up, keep spreading the love. Man, that's awesome. Legit though. Legit. I'm gonna hit up your account, and if everything checks out, I'll have you on the podcast and we can talk about it. I want to talk about because like a voiceover in 90s video game world, that had to have been a crazy thing back then. That like legit. And so I'd love to have you as a guest. That'd be cool. Okay. Let's get back into this. Let me get sidetracked. I'm getting excited. And I'm not let me clarify this. I'm not a huge gamer. I used to be like a ridiculous gamer. Like Guitar Hero, get out of town. Like I was like, we used to do competitions all the time. We used to do stuff. Go read my story, all the interviews. Absolutely, dude. Hey, I'll hit you up. I have another podcast that I'm on where I have a co-host, get a little bit bigger following. We'll hit you up and we'd love to have you on. At least, if you're willing to, that'd be really cool. Austin's back in this beast. What's up? Yeah, you're in Texas. Yeah, we can do remote though. It's super easy to do with the software that we use. So absolutely. And if you legit, if you're in Texas, I got another podcast for you too. They would love to probably have you on too. I like your beard, G. Honestly, so if you're new to this, here's something I haven't talked about is this beard, right? So if you are new to the show, I cut 9 inches off my beard over the last week and a half. I proposed to my now fiance July 4th, and I cut 9 inches of beard off. Like it's all gone. It's all gone. I took a position and I didn't have to cut it off. That wasn't a requirement. They didn't tell me to or anything like that. But I had seen some pictures that the local paper took while we had like an open house thing. And the pictures were good, I'm like, obviously I'm a fat ass, it doesn't matter. But the pictures themselves were good. My smile was good. I was entertaining people. It was a good time. But my beard looked like shit. Like straight dookie. And it kind of made me sad because I really enjoyed having my beard back. I had cut it off. And I usually do this about once a year where I cut it short. But it had started getting to the point where usually I let it go. At that point, I just kind of let it go and let it just go feral, right? I stopped trimming my neck up and everything, and I just let it all go and see what I can do. And I had seen the picture and on the newspaper website, and I was like, man, that would be such a phenomenal picture if my beard didn't look like that. And I was sad, right? I was like, because I really enjoy my beard, it took a lot of patience to grow it and everything. And that was probably about a year and 3 months, a year and 4 months or something like that in on that beard. And it was just, I was like, man, it's time. So I didn't tell the old lady about it. I didn't tell my fiance about it or anything like that. And this was before I proposed. This is probably July 2nd-ish. And I just went, took the clippers and bzz, bzz, bzz. My mustache too. My mustache had been really long and I was like twisting up the ends and shit. And I just zapped it all down. Bzz, 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 bzz. And I know I look good this way. Don't get me wrong. Like, what's up? But I really enjoy having a long beard. And especially when I had my motorcycle, I liked having the long beard. It just kind of fit my vibe a little bit better. And I'm in all intents and purposes, I'm just a dirty dirtbag that's out here just doing white collar things sometimes. I'm just definitely that guy, right? And so I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really was torn because because the longer beard fits my like personality better. But I do have a higher profile job where I have people that look up to me, and I have to look good in public, right? I have to look good for customers. I have to look good in meetings. I have to, you know what I mean? I have to be fairly professional. And one look at that picture, and I was like, that screams unprofessional, 100%. And I just don't have the time to milk my beard with products and, you know, flat iron it or whatever else these crazy people do with their beards. I ain't got that kind of time. Ain't got time for that shit, right? So, buzz, it went. So, there it is. No more beard. I mean, I still got this beard. And I think this beard looks good. And it'll probably get a little bit longer. But I think I'm going to probably keep it this tight for a little while, for sure. So, let me finish off this one, and then we're going to get into this banger. I'm really, really excited for this next beer. Let's polish this one off real quick. And then we'll get it. Okay, here we go. Okay. That was terrible. That was that was a shit burp. I'm really sorry, guys. I really feel like I disappointed everybody with that one. All right, I'll do better next time. Okay. So TJ said that the OJ made a beer, but it was like a Bloody Mary. It was a joke. I don't care. I think he should. 100%. I think he should. The funniest thing I've seen, and we talked about this on the other podcast, Mike Tyson makes edible gummies in the shape of little ears with a bite taken out of it, and they're called Mike's Bites. I don't care who you are, the best. The fucking best marketing ever. Whoever came up with that, they are underpaid. 100% underpaid. That was brilliant. And they're edibles. They're, you know, like he owns part of a dispensary or something like that. And so little edible ears with little bites taken out of it. Are you fucking kidding me? Comedy gold. Comedy gold. And you know what? If I was somewhere where I could purchase them, I'm in a non-legal state for that. I would buy them. I'd buy a whole grip of them. I think it's hilarious. I don't care. I would do it just for the name. I would do it just for the shape. Just like Diet Coke back in the 90s, just for the taste of it, baby. All right. The last beer of the night for our show for July 12th, 2022. And TJ kind of got into it earlier. This is not Pantera's beer, but it is a play on Pantera lyrics in a Pantera song. This is from Equilibrium, which is one of the best breweries in the nation. This is a double IPA. 8.555% ABV. This is Vulgar Display of Flower from Equilibrium. This is a double IPA. Such a great name, right? So, obviously, based off the Pantera album, Vulgar Display of Power. Hey, from New York. What's up, Sarah's Shit Show? What's going on? Welcome to the podcast. This is a great one. So, it's touted with being hoppy, bitter, double IPA. 8.5. I love that right around that realm, right? 8.5 is about anything above that. And you start hitting a dangerous area. Not because of the alcohol content. You start hitting a dangerous area because it's sweet. To get that alcohol content up there, you really have to have sugar in your mix there. Because sugar turns into alcohol content, in case you didn't know that. And so when you start getting into like triple IPAs and stuff like that, where they're like 10, 12%, they become really sweet, and I can't do sweet beer. There's like a There's like a level that I like enjoy and stuff like that. This is it. This double IPA at about 8.5. And don't get me wrong, there is beers that are higher alcohol content than this that I enjoy, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody can like hit that mark, because you start getting into triples. Like I had a quadruple IPA that really should have been. I think I paid $9 for this can or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be my first quad. I'm gonna really like this. It was just too sweet, and realistically, if it had been just a little less sweet, could have been the best IPA I've ever had. But the sweetness overpowered it. It made it too rich, and it was just too much. I just couldn't do it. But this one is a double IPA. Look at this color. You like this color? Isn't this just gorgeous, right? Like a real dirty straw, almost orange. 1 finger tall white head. It was a little bit more, but I kept pouring. It's a 16-ounce can that I had to pour out here. It's a big boy. Double IPA. Citrus on the nose. Citrus hardcore on the nose. Sarah Shit Show. I'm more of a smoker myself, but I can appreciate a good IPA. Absolutely. I'm in the same realm, right? Like I like a little bit of both, for sure. I like the dankness of both, if we're gonna get into that, right? But this is a good one. So here we go. Gosh, nice and citrus. You can smell that it's sweet, but not. It doesn't feel like it's overpoweringly sweet. Cheers. Get the fuck out of here. Wow. Damn, that's a good IPA, guys. Shoo. Okay. The citrus is there, but it comes along with a couple of like really nice notes of like orange zest and other citrus notes. So it's not just that grapefruit, traditional grapefruit taste that you kind of expect out of IPAs. This is definitely a hazy. So you get a nice smooth mouthfeel that really just kind of knocks it out of the park. And it is sweet, but it is like mandarin orange sweet. Not cutie sweet or whatever you want to call it, clementine sweet. It's like a mandarin orange sweet. So it's got a little bit of bitter that comes along with it that tones it down a little bit. Man, fantastic. And I've heard nothing but good things out of Equilibrium. This is the first Equilibrium I've ever had. It's kind of harder to get in my area, I will say that. But I can't say enough. This is just delightful. Now, at 8.5, drink responsibly. You're at 4 of these. I mean, you're finding your own way into the house at that point, right? Man, that's so smooth. Smooth, but it has like a nice, I'm not going to say it's crispy, because it doesn't have like this poignant stop, which is how I kind of like associate crisp with a beer or something like that. Like there's a poignant stop point, right? Where the flavor and the mouthfeel stops. That's what I feel is crisp. This isn't crisp. It has some crisp to it, but it's not crisp. It has a nice mellow back end. It really makes you go, I gotta have another drink. I gotta have another drink right now. And then you just invite that next one in. Delightful. Super, super delightful. I can't say enough about it. Do I think this name matches this beer? No. Absolutely not. If I'm going to associate a beer with one of the greatest albums of all time, as in Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power, I'm going to go with something a little bit spicier than this. And by spicier, I mean like something like a stout or a porter that's got some heft to it, that's a little bit darker, that's a little bit more in your face, it's a little bit more not for everyone. But this shit, This is something this is something you could definitely probably serve to somebody that's not a big IPA fan, and they'll probably enjoy it. Love it? Maybe not. But enjoy it? Absolutely. This is good. And I could polish off just a whole grip of these and be a mess till the wheels fall off. But we're not going down that rabbit hole. I'm going to drink this for sure, but we're not going down that rabbit hole. What else we got going on? Softball's over. So my kid, I didn't even talk about this a little bit. I feel like my daughters have had the longest softball season in fucking history. It was like we were like 9 weekends in a row, it felt like, or something like that. Though I had a softball game in one way, shape, or form, or something. To where we haven't been able to do any camping, we haven't done any fishing, we haven't floated the river yet, we haven't done anything because we've just been doing softball. Fuck my life. Don't get me wrong. I love watching my daughters play softball, and I love watching them and their teamwork and everything else. I really do. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I even went out and I bought these banger ass chairs. They were like 60 or 70 bucks a piece that rock. Like they have like shocks on the back of them and shit to where they like rock back and forth, like banger ass chairs in a collapsible wagon so I can drag all my shit into these tournaments, and an awning and all kinds of stuff. Like I am there for the long haul. I do not miss games. I am there for all of them. But it also means that every fucking weekend is spoken for. 100%. Every weekend is spoken for. So somebody goes, hey, do you want to come and hang out? And then, no, I got shit to do. What's that shit to do? I'm going to be at a softball field at 8 a.m. What time are you going home? Probably about 8 p.m. I'm going to be there all fucking day in this heat. Out just baking my ass off. Like I got some like tiger stripe ass sunburn on my arm. Look at that. You can see it. Boom. Boom. Right there and right there. Like because of spray tan. Like, or spray sunscreen. Because I'm an idiot. Like, dedication as a father. I am out there doing anything it takes to support my daughters. But, fuck this softball season. If I gotta watch one more softball game in the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna lose my shit. I've watched so much softball, it's not even funny. And so it's great. You know what I mean? I'm excited about this. I'm excited that we're done with softball season. We had a great season. And both teams did really, really well. My oldest daughter's team is an 18U team, and my youngest daughter's team is a 12U team. Both of them did really, really well. They both did okay on state. Both of them could have done better at state, but state was kind of political, and it is what it is. But their league tournaments and stuff like that, amazing. They did great. Both of them did outstanding. And so I'm really proud of both of them. I'm proud of my oldest daughter had taken a sabbatical of about 3 years off of softball and decided to go back into it, and had shown tremendous improvement. And so we get a little time off of softball. Not much, but we get a little bit because my daughter starts high school softball. I am that old. She's a freshman in high school. She starts high school softball in about a month, right around like midway through August. She'll start doing practices. They're kind of doing some practicing now, but not hardcore 2-a-days or whatever like they will be doing closer to August. So we get a little bit of a break from softball, and then we'll be doing softball and volleyball. My youngest daughter I just can't say enough about how she is with volleyball. She gets, like, I have people coming up after games saying, hey, you need to get her into some this and that and whatever. She's doing awesome. And to her testament, she's a 12-year-old girl that's right around 5'7". She is just growing like a weed. And she hasn't lost any of that. She doesn't have that clumsiness because she's getting taller. Like, she's just well rounded. She still handles her body very well. But volleyball is her game 100%. She's just so much better at volleyball than any other sport she does. She does basketball, she dances, and then she does softball. And she is just leaps and bounds better at volleyball. And so it's kind of funny because, like, I kind of razz her all the time. I'm like, you have to choose between softball and volleyball when you come to high school. And if you choose softball, I will disown you. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, because you're that much better at volleyball. And don't get me wrong, I will support her any other way. I will support her 100% on whatever decision she makes. My oldest daughter doesn't want to do basketball this year. She's going to do wrestling. It'll be the first year that her school does wrestling. I back her 100%. If that's what she wants to do, I'll be there. I don't know shit about wrestling, but I'll be there just yelling, like, rip that bitch's head off. Let's go. Twist her dick, whatever. Like, I'm going to be there. Like, try to be supportive as much as possible. But my other daughter with this volleyball shit, there's just no, like, she's going to try out for this other team that is a much better team in my opinion, and everything. So I'm like, come on, don't be like that. Like, you're better at this. Like, she goes, I know, I'll play volleyball. It's okay. I'm like, good, because you're like a 5 or 6 out of 10 in softball. You were like a 9.5 in volleyball, so I mean, this is your sport. This is going to be your, like, ticket to punch to get to college is going to be volleyball if you keep going the way you're going. So anyhow, my parents didn't push me in any of that stuff. I did basketball and volleyball, or I did basketball and track and football and all that in high school, but my parents really didn't push me, so I didn't really care. And so I'm not trying to push. I'm just trying to, like, usher in the fact that, like, come on, like, just try to follow what you're better at, and you're going to enjoy it more because you're going to be winning. You're going to be, like, whatever. That's my little rant to my daughter. I'll show her this later on, and she'll be like, whatever, Dad. Thanks for talking about me on your podcast. But it is what it is. Shit, that's a good beer. Whew. Man, it tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. It's a good beer. Well, I mean, I've talked out of my ass for an hour and 8 minutes, guys. I'm gonna try to keep doing this on Tuesdays. It has been harder, I will say that, but I'm gonna try to keep it up. Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is where I start this shit. I'm gonna start bringing in guests, mostly probably remote, if we're gonna be honest, and we're gonna try to liven this up a little bit. I'm gonna try to broaden some of these topics a little bit too. I don't want to just focus on beer because I just don't get that same feedback. I want to get some more feedback. I want to get a little bit more participation from my viewers and from my audience and that kind of thing. So I think we're going to try to broaden this up a little bit and not just talk only about beer. We're going to try to bring in some movie stuff maybe, or some music stuff. I'm not sure. Movie stuff is where it's at for me. I'm a big movie guy. Like, I'm a big comic book movie guy, more so than anything. Like, I don't have time nor the money to keep up with these comic books. My uncle owned a comic book shop for a little while, and that bill got out fucking rageous for me for a while, trying to keep up with storylines and stuff like that. Get out of town. I couldn't do it. It was just too much. I was sinking $100-$200 a week for a while there in a comic. I just can't do that. I can't. It's not happening. However, I can keep up with Disney Plus Marvel movies and new Marvel movies coming out. I haven't gone out and seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet. I kind of want to see if we can do that maybe next week when we don't have kids or something. Kind of do a little date night, go see Love and Thunder. But I I can keep up with these movies, and I am enjoying the hell out of these movies and the series. All these, Loki was fantastic. I felt like WandaVision, everybody wants to shit on WandaVision. I thought it was fantastic. And all this DC stuff, not all of the DC stuff has been great. The movies have been shit. But some of these series have been really good. Like, I really like Titans. Titans is really good. And I do enjoy Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol, the first couple of seasons of Doom Patrol was really good. I got into like the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, and I kind of stopped watching. I need to go back and watch all those. And maybe that's something I'm going to start bringing into this podcast, is we're going to start talking about some movies a little bit more, and that kind of thing. I want to broaden it up a little bit. I want to open it up a little bit more and not just make it beer content. But if you guys have ideas and you guys want to DM me and say, hey, I really feel like this would be good, I feel like you'd be good at talking about this, whatever, I'm straight up open to ideas, because I want to make this podcast successful and an enjoyable thing that people like want to tune in. Like, hey, shit, I missed his podcast. Like, let me catch it tomorrow and watch the video of it on YouTube or whatever. Like, that's what I want to get to, because I feel like our other podcast is that way. Like, I have guys that are telling me, hey, I caught your I didn't get to check it out, but I caught your podcast on YouTube the next day on our other podcast. And so I want to get the solo one up to that caliber, in my opinion. So that's where we're at. I'm at an hour and 12 minutes. I got some homemade, home cut, cow killed, soaked, marinated beef jerky, prize winning beef jerky, sitting on my grill right now that I got to go take off. Maybe I'll talk about that next podcast, about processing this cow. I only did so much of it. I didn't get to do a ton of this. I was obviously busy with softball games, but me and 2 other buddies processed the cow. They did about 90% of the work, but it was an adventure. It was something different. And so we can kind of talk about that. Maybe next episode I'll try to remember and we'll talk about it. We will definitely be talking about it in 2 days on Unlikely Role Models podcast. So if you like seeing my fat fucking face and you want to see more of me and you want to see some more laughs, we're definitely a lot funnier on a Thursday. If you want to go check that out, every other Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Partycast Network, on Unlikely Role Models podcast, on all of these socials, and on this TikTok account until we get up to 1,000 people on their other TikTok account. You can catch Unlikely Role Models podcast. It is me and a co-host. His name is Kyle, and we have topics. We cover funny news stories. We talk about crazy laws. We talk about crazy weird facts. We talk about beer. We talk about sports. We talk about everything and anything under the sun, and we're probably going to talk about processing this cow that we did over this last week. We're probably going to talk about this engagement a little bit again. We're probably going to talk about I don't know. It's going to be crazy, and you just need to tune in and find out what happens. You can catch me and this channel and this podcast every other Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you want to go check out any of the other socials or any of the past podcast episodes, you can check it out on all of the podcast platforms, and then you can go also check it out, the videos on YouTube at Horny Gnome Booze Cruise podcast over on YouTube. But I have been the Horny Gnome. This has been the Horny Gnome Bar, and this has been the Horny Gnome Booze Cruise podcast, episode 14. Let's go. The saga continues. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Thanks for hanging out. Let's check it out. I got a couple people over here on on Twitch. Let's raid somebody out. Let's raid. Let's see who's on right now. Balakendra. No. Hit. Let's go raid out hit. We're gonna go raid hit. I love everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. Peace.